Welcome to Eastern Kentucky University. Today we will be looking at the DegreeWorks software system. The objectives for this training include logging into DegreeWorks, understanding student audits, and identifying any issues. In order to attend this training, you need to complete FERPA. You need to have access to student information, specifically student ID numbers, and a computer with internet access. Let's get started. DegreeWorks is a web-based auditing tool designed to monitor progress towards graduation. Advisors use this tool to help students stay on track to graduate. Go to the EKU homepage at www.eku.edu. Hover your mouse over the word Login. When the menu comes down, look for DegreeWorks and click on it. This will take you to the login page. In the login page, you'll want to enter your EKU username, your password, and if you have any issues, you'll want to contact IT. After you log into DegreeWorks, you'll come to the landing page. Here, you'll be able to see a student academic audit. In order to see this audit, you will need their identification number. You can get this number from your advisee list in EKU Direct. Today, we'll be using a test student. You'll put the ID number in this box and hit enter. The student audit will populate. Now, the first thing you want to do when you pull up a student audit is make sure that it is up to date. To do that, you'll want to refresh the audit by hitting this button and hitting OK. Next, you'll want to process new. Now, what this does is that it pulls over any new information relative to the student and then processes a new audit with this information. This way, you can make sure that you advise students with the most up-to-date information. If they've changed their major or if more transfer work has been put in recently, refreshing and reprocessing an audit will make sure that all of that information is there for you to see. To get a better understanding of the audit, go ahead and pull up one of your advisees and follow along with me as we go through it. At the top of the audit, you can see all of the information that's relevant to the student: their name, degree type, their major of interest, level, class, and the last time that their audit was refreshed. Under that, you'll see the 4 tabs that you have with different tools in each one. Worksheet is going to have the bulk of the degree audit. It'll have all of the course requirements and any other requirements we have as far as in the degree, university graduation requirements, general education, major, minor, and concentration. The Plans tab gives you the ability to make a term-by-term course outline that leads to graduation. The Petitions tab allows you to submit course exceptions that you believe are appropriate for the student. And then you also have a GPA calculator. The Worksheet tab is going to be the primary area of the DegreeWorks audit that you'll review with students. At the top, there are a couple things you need to be aware of. First is the Save as PDF button. This button will allow you to save a PDF copy of the audit to review with the student or to keep for your own records. You click the button and another box will come up in a PDF view. Sometimes this box may take a minute, but it will come up eventually. This will give you the option to save the PDF copy or print it if you would like. We've already spoken about the Process New button. The next part is the In Progress and Pre-Registered Classes button. This allows you to run an audit without in progress or pre-registered courses if you would like to see what their audit looked like before they signed up for classes. All you would need to do is uncheck these boxes, hit Process New, and it will now give you a new audit without those classes included. Be sure to turn them back on and hit Process New, just to make sure that the audit for the student is correct. Next to that, you'll see a class history button. This will give you a breakdown by semester of the courses for the student. Now for our test student, we don't have much of academic history, so you don't see anything here. But for your own student, you'll see a breakdown term by term of the courses that they've taken. Next in the worksheet is going to be the actual audit. Now the top of this audit is going to have information that you've already seen at the top up here. The next part of that is going to be the degree progress bar. This will show you how close you are to graduation. The most important number in the degree progress bar is going to be 100. As long as they are at 100% and they've passed their last classes with acceptable grades, they'll be eligible for graduation. After that comes the degree block. All of the audits are built based on degree type, whether it's an Associate of Arts, a Bachelor of Science, or a department certificate. It will all start with what the degree type is and what the requirements for those degree types are going to be. For the Associate of Arts, there is a minimum of 60 hours required for the degree. You must get 15 hours earned at EKU in order to receive a degree from EKU. You must apply for graduation, maintain a 2.0 GPA, complete your university graduation requirements, and the major requirements. In the top of this block, you can see that the hours required are 60, and our test student doesn't have any credit towards that 60 just yet. You can also see the catalog year and the GPA. The catalog year is important. You're going to want to compare the degree audit with the EKU catalog of the same year to make sure that the requirements are correct. The degree audit is built in a hierarchy fashion. What this means is that it starts with more broad requirements, like the degree requirements, and moves to more specific things, like the major and the concentration. Now the degree block takes into account all of the other blocks in the audit. When you complete your major requirements, it will show complete here. When you complete your university graduation requirements, they will also show complete here. In the next section is the university graduation requirements. This consists of Gen Ed, pre-college curriculum, and the Student Success Seminar. This block will show complete once these requirements are complete. The next section is the Gen Ed requirements. Gen Ed requirements are a requirement for every single undergrad student, no matter if you're in an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. The Gen Ed requirements start with Element 1, which is going to be English and Oral Communications. Element 2, which is going to be your math courses. Element 3, that includes Arts and Humanities. Element 4 requires Natural Science, and you have to complete 2 areas in this element. Element 5 is going to be Social and Behavioral Sciences. And Element 6, which is going to be Diversity of Perspectives and Experience, which is also going to require 6 hours or 2 classes in this area. After the Gen Ed section, you come to the major block. And for this student, Sue Test, she's in General Studies. So her block is going to look a little bit different than most. For you, if you're following along with one of your advisees, it will look a lot different depending on your major. For General Studies degrees, you have the option of doing hours in different areas: Arts and Sciences, Business and Technology, Education, Health Sciences, and Justice and Safety. Again, this block looks different than most. So please pull up one of your advisees and familiarize yourself with your major, concentrations, and/or minors. As an advisor, you have tools to use to help students or potential students decide their major or look at other majors that may be a possibility. In order to do this, you'll want to go to the What If tool. In the worksheet, look for the area that says What If and click on it. This takes you to an area where you can choose certain parameters to set to see what a generated audit would look like, taking into account the student's previous work and the requirements of the new major. be sure to select the newest academic year. For our test student, we're going to choose Corrections and Juvenile Justice Studies. Another tool that you can use inside of DegreeWorks is called Look Ahead. On the Worksheet tab, click the area that says Look Ahead. In this area, you can enter classes that you want to take in the future to see where in the audit those classes will populate. For our test student, we're going to use Math 105. Hit Add Course. You can add as many courses as you want to this box in order to see where they will populate. After you've added all of the courses you're considering, click Process New. This will generate a new audit, taking into account those classes that you want to take in the future. If you scroll down through the audit, you can see where those classes will fulfill. Math 105 fulfills a core course for this student. It also shows in progress down at the bottom that they plan to take this class sometime in the future. The Plans tab in DegreeWorks gives you the ability to make a term-by-term course outline for the student to make sure they get to graduation in the most efficient and effective way. In order to make a plan, you'll want to go to the Plans tab and click it. This will open up the planner area. You'll first want to make a name for the plan. You'll want to make sure it's active, and as the advisor, you want to make sure that it's locked so no one else can adjust the plan but you. And then you'll want to start adding semesters. Over here, you'll see the Add Term box with a little plus sign in it. You'll want to choose a semester to add a plan. Let's choose Fall. Fall will then populate in the plan. Now you want to add courses to this plan. Again, go to the box with the plus sign and add a requirement. We're going to choose Add a Course. For our test student, we're going to have Math 105. After you put the course in, you'll notice that the rest of the information will populate by itself. It updates that it's 3 hours, and if you need a minimum grade, you can set that as well. You can set as many classes as you want in each semester, and you can add as many semesters as you would like. When you're done with the plan, make sure again that it's locked, that it's active, and that you save it. Down here in the bottom, you'll see the Save area. Click Save. Now the plan has been saved. As an EKU advisor, you have the ability to submit a petition for exception for course requirements that the student may have. For example, if they have an English 101 requirement here at EKU, but they've transferred in an English course from another university that you feel meets the requirements for English 101, you can enter in a petition to have an exception granted to allow the transfer English course to count for the English course requirement here. To do that, you'll go to the Petitions tab in DegreeWorks. Here, you'll go to Add Petition. In the free form box, you'll enter in what the petition needs to be and a justification for the petition. Once you submit this petition, it will go to an intermediary who will classify the petition, and then it will go to the chair and the dean of the department for approval. If it's a university exception, it will go to the chair, dean, and the university registrar. If it's a gen ed exception, it will go to the chair, dean, university registrar, and gen ed committee. You can view petitions in the View Petition area, or you can find them in EKU Direct. The last thing we need to discuss is identifying issues in DegreeWorks. Sometimes you'll find that the information in DegreeWorks does not match the EKU course catalog. And that is because there is a group of staff members that have to update and maintain the programming for DegreeWorks themselves, and there's only a few people that do it. Now, while they do their best to make sure everything is accurate, human error does happen, and we rely on advisors to double check our work and to make sure that everything looks the way it's supposed to. Remember in the beginning of the training where I said that the academic year is very important. This is going to tell you what EKU catalog you need to refer to when looking at requirements and comparing them to make sure everything is correct. If you go to catalogs.eku.edu, you'll be able to see a PDF version of all the catalogs we offer. Here, you'll be able to see all of the course catalogs that we offer. You can see previous years, or you can see the most current year. Click on the academic year to see it in a PDF format. Here, you'll be able to look through the entire course catalog that we offer. You'll want to search for your major and compare it to the degree audit to make sure that everything looks the same. If you see misinformation or information that is not represented correctly, you'll want to reach out to the appropriate staff to make sure that that is fixed. Most times it will be the degree audit staff that is located in the registrar's office.